Where is Nelson Mandela? The ANC might need Nelson Mandela to come back from his grave to be able to help them get to the top. It's never getting any better. Johannesburg, Devon, good morning to you. Military juntas are ruling, and the rest of the African countries are still fighting for democracy. Therefore, South Africa in 2024, just a few days ago, went to the polls. And as you may all know, so many parties in South Africa vied for this particular, they partook in the election. And ANC is no longer having it in South Africa. There were leading parties, the MK party led by Mr. Jacob Zuma, the former president, Cyril Ramaphosa's ANC, which is leading. And you know it so well. The EFF, led by the guy, the man, the Pan-Africanist himself. But unfortunately, the ANC couldn't pull it as one would expect, because the signs were clear prior to going into the polls that they were not going to make it as usually was. So I give you this, I'll give you an insight into what's actually happening in the southern state of South Africa. South Africa's ruling African Congress Party is set to fall short of majority for the first time in 30 years after national elections this week, making the biggest political shift in the country since the end of apartheid. Yeah, which is true, because everybody would expect South Africa to, ANC to lead or rule hands down, but unfortunately they couldn't succeed at that due to certain turmoil in the party, chief disagreement, different factions in the party. With the results from 90% of voting districts as of 5:10 p.m. Eastern Time, support for ANC was at 41.0%. The official opposition party, the Central Democratic Alliance, which is DA, at 21.72% of the votes. EFF came out of ANC, and MK also came out of ANC. Alright, the splinter parties, the newly formed Mkoto's Wisizwe party, which is the MK party, led by Zuma, had 13.69% of the votes, and the far left Economic Freedom Fighters EFF had 9.46%. Alright, so what this means is it is shocking that EFF is not even the second biggest opposition party in South Africa. The DA is actually by the white South Africans. So the Democratic Alliance, now the second biggest political party or opposition party in South Africa. And Jacob Zuma, whose party, MK party, also moving on. Now, it's crazy how South African population, largely just 20% of that is white, but EFF couldn't make it. Now, this should not be surprising, because in South Africa, Julius Malema has always been known as somebody preaching Pan-Africanism, and I don't know where he's going with this Pan-Africanism, because most black South Africans feel disenfranchised in the system. They do not partake in the bigger economic picture of South Africa, and they feel threatened by other migrants, Africans who are coming into South Africa, for fear that they will be taking away their jobs. So they failed because of that, because they feel, again, if they vote for Mr. Julius Malema, is going to open their borders, and a lot of other Africans will come in and to seize their economic opportunities from them. And that is why they couldn't vote for EFF. It's crazy. It's crazy. So it's no longer Pan-Africanism, because if you look at it in a bigger picture, it is what it is. So ANC is no more leading the country, even though by far It's a win for them, polling 41% of the national vote. Now, what is going to happen in South Africa is there's going to be a coalition government, either you like it or not. Uh, EFF is going to be there, DA is going to be there, and the MK is going to be there. So there's going to be a coalition government with ANC at the helm of affairs, still ruling the country. However, it must be stated clearly, as we read in this CNN article, that they are losing grip on power. They are no more having it as it used to be because the party is moving away from its founding philosophies and the way the leaders today in ANC are ruling the people or leading the people to say it's not the same as it used to be. Therefore, the people no longer feel that the ANC is the party that fought against apartheid system and that is the party that is for them. And once this goes to this extent, what is going to happen again in South Africa is in future the DA is going to be in power. The DA, of course, is going to be in power, and I'm also seeing the MK party also, fighting for the same position. Since the people don't like Julius Malema, his mistake is he is preaching Pan Africanism, of which he knows Black South Africans who are in the majority don't like. So